What's going on, everybody? I'm Tucker Bagley alongside Eliot Shorr-Parks, live from the Linc, wearing a beautiful jacket on a chilly Black Friday. And speaking of chilly, I mean, everything going on with the Eagles has been ice cold, has been for weeks. Elliot, I don't know about you, but I kind of came into today thinking, Nick Sirianni traditionally good on a short week in his career. Maybe this is the time the Eagles going against a defense that struggles against the run. Feels like a great time for them to kind of get back to what they've been good at doing in recent years. And through 30 minutes, kind of the opposite has happened. Like it's up and down. I think the score is a lot closer than kind of how most people feel through 30 minutes. But what's your initial takeaway from a first half of football where the Eagles had two first downs in 30 minutes, and now we're going on, I think, 72 minutes where all they've
Hey,
scored is a field goal? You good?
yeah, you froze there for a second. Can you
Oh, all
hear me?
right. Yeah.
All right, I think we're back now. Look, I mean, par for the course for how that first half of that game went, right? Here's what I would say. I think there's two ways to look at this, and I don't blame either side. If you want to if you want to look at this and say they're only down 7, it's really windy, it's a short week, like they're probably going to win the game. I wouldn't blame you for looking at it that way. They win the game today, they're 9-3, people can feel good. But if you're on the other side, and this is where I fall, I would say, I completely understand anyone in the comments right now, anyone at the game, anyone just texting their friends, flipping out about this. This is a terrible, terrible half of football on the offensive side of the ball. And frankly, on the defensive side, too. They got ran over. Credit to them for making some plays at the end to keep this to a one possession game. But this looks and feels like 2023. And we can deny it all we want, but that's exactly what it feels like in the stadium. The offense is terrible. The defense is getting pushed around. And the feeling in the crowd is what stands out to me the most from that first half. And to be clear, I'm not blaming the crowd, but you would think that a team that's 8-3, that's coming off winning the Super Bowl, that has won as much as they have, it's like the second they fall behind or go 3 and now, everybody's like, here we go again. And I don't blame them because that's how it feels. That's how I feel watching it, right? But the mood in the stadium is one where you would think they were down 30-3 and not 10-3. And I think that speaks to how poorly things are going right now with this team. They are not giving anybody anything to believe in. I mean, look in that first half. Once again, what do they have? I mean, I don't know how many rushing yards they have, but they're not running the ball well. Jalen Hurts misses a wide open Devontae on a third down. Maybe a potential miscommunication there where he expected Devontae to sit. Devontae kept going. But even if that's the case, that's a miscommunication between two players who have been teammates, I mean, basically their whole career, right? So that's unacceptable as well. The throw is an uglier miss. If it's just a missed throw, you can't have that. But regardless, it's a 3rd and 8 play where they get the look they want. The play call is correct and they don't execute. They have 2 pre-snap penalties already that have pushed them back, right? And then they have the OPI, which admittedly is a soft call. But when you have 14 penalties the week before, you don't get a complaint about not getting the benefit of the doubt. So once again, they're in 3rd and longs. They're putting themselves, when they get into a 2nd and manageable, a penalty is putting them into 2nd and long again. They're just a poor team right now. They're not executing well. And if everyone wants to be mad at the coaches, go ahead. I think that's fair. I just think the difference in being mad at the coaches to me is not the scheme. It's just how sloppy they look right now. If you want to focus on Patullo and Nick's scheme, go for it. You can have that discussion. I respect the people that want to do that. But that to me is not the problem. Just watch the game. The Bears are running harder. They're playing harder. They're a crisper team. They're executing better. The Bears look like a team that is on their way to going to play for the Super Bowl. The Eagles don't look like that team right now. And it's really concerning how sloppy they look yet again after 14 penalties last week.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned the scheme, and I agree with, like, is that the main problem? It might be, but we've reached the point now where everything's a problem, right? Like personnel's an issue. The motivation, like just the body language from the team, they look scared. They're playing like a team,
Agreed.
like you mentioned, like we saw this 2 years ago, and James tweeted at halftime, maybe they'll turn things around, and maybe they will. But like at this point, this is now like what, week 4, week 5, where we're saying, well, they're going to come out in the second half and they're going to be a better team, and certainly they've played decent football throughout the year. They have 8 wins, but I mean, as you're watching this team, like they're going downhill and they're going downhill quickly. And a lot of this is self-inflicted. It is the penalties where Saquon Barkley runs for 9 yards on first down, and then Landon Dickerson immediately gets flagged for a
Yep.
false start. The same thing happened on their opening drive, where Saquon Barkley runs for 5 yards and they get flagged immediately, and they have to go back and they're in second and long again. I mean, just from top to bottom, I mean, I just don't know who you can say is necessarily having a good day. I mean, maybe the pass defense, but you look at that secondary. Sidney Brown has been cooked about
Sidney
3 or 4
Brown
times.
should have given up 2 touchdowns by now. He's lucky he didn't give up those two
And he
touchdowns.
had a
He got
horrible missed tackle.
absolute
Like I know DeAndre Swift is running like Gale Sayers today, but like he
yeah.
missed him by about 3 yards in the open field on their first scoring drive. So I mean, just across the board, you look at this team and you believe that they have the potential because they have shown it in the past to play better and step up and play like a championship team. But as we turn and look ahead to the second half, do you have confidence that any of these units or anyone can really step up and put their foot down in the locker room right now and say no? We're not going to play like this anymore because we've heard this a few weeks in a row now. Like this isn't anything new. This isn't something that is necessarily a blip on the radar. This has become a trend across the board for this team.
And by the way, they're showing replays here from the first half in the booth. Not to negate because you were cooking there. That was good. But like they're showing replays from the first half. On that play where he misses Devontae wide open. Goddard is wide. Look, if
Yep.
Jalen likes what he sees and gets the look he wants, okay, then throw it. But you have to connect on the throw if you're going to ignore or miss a wide open receiver. But to your point about do we believe, right? Like you can believe, I can believe, James can believe, whoever's in the chat can believe. I think what matters right now is do they believe? And I've brought this up a few times this week, but it truly has been sticking in my head. Nick Sirianni said he watched football one day. I think the Eagles played on Sunday night that night. And he said the difference he sees between his team and other teams is the Eagles wait to win, other teams wait to lose. You tell me what this team looks like right now. Killing 20 seconds before the 2-minute warning because they're so afraid of going 3 and out that they end up going out anyway and the Bears get the ball. Are the Eagles still waiting to win or are they just trying to avoid losing? And I wonder on the sideline how these players feel right now because the Bears look confident to me. The Bears, I guarantee you, in that locker room are sitting there and going, we got this. We're up 3. We're playing well. We're confident. Chauncey's feeling confident in there. I would love to know, and hopefully I'll find out afterwards, what the mood is like in this halftime locker room right now for the Eagles. It cannot be a positive one. Maybe on the defensive side of the ball, but I would love to know, like, are Jalen and AJ talking about what they're seeing? Is Jalen sitting with Patullo and going over things? Is, God forbid, Jalen, AJ, Devontae, Patullo talking and going over? Like, I want to know if this team themselves still believes. Because in 2023, they were waiting to lose, right? And we leaned on the schedule and we said it wasn't going to be that bad. But nobody can tell me that team that's playing right now can feel confident going up against anybody. I don't care if it's the Raiders. I don't care if it's Marcus Mariota with the Commanders. We got to stop talking about the schedule. This team is playing poor right now. And it's not about who they're playing, it's how they are playing. They look incapable on offense. And people are going to bring up the wind. And the wind is a factor, but it's just so hard to lean on the wind when you ended the past 2.5 quarters against Dallas in pristine conditions, not even getting to the 30-yard line or in the red zone. So they got so many issues right now, and nobody should escape criticism. Patullo, Nick, they hold a ton of criticism. But the players aren't playing well either. And Jalen is not playing well. Look at the difference in arm strength between these two quarterbacks. Jalen throws a ball to Devontae in the first quarter. It was so bad, everyone in the press box assumed it was tipped. I don't think it was. And so he
It
basically
was,
just
and
threw
they
a,
showed it on TV. Kirk Herbstreit said the same thing on the broadcast. That must have been
yeah.
tipped. There's no way he missed him. It wasn't.
And it wasn't. It's the wind. And again, then he misses Devontae. Like they are, what's he have? 57 passing yards. I mean, it's bad. It's bad right now. All that being said, though, they're only down 3. They get the ball at the start of the third quarter. And yes, we want to see them play better as the year goes on. But you escape today with a win and you take another step forward to go into the game no one wants to hear about right now, but the Super Bowl. Like if you win this game, you're 9-3. You have a tiebreaker over everybody pretty much in the NFC. I mean, Cowboys are starting to get a little interesting. But regardless, like win the game and worry about playing better as the season goes on. We'll do a post game pod. We'll talk about it and everything. But man, they got to find a way to win this game because it's going to be a long, 10 days, 9 days until they play next if they don't win this one.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned. I think that kind of last drive before the 2-minute warning, where they ran the little play action pass to AJ and then just let the clock run out. I think really encapsulated
Yeah.
how people feel about the team because they're playing scared and they're not playing like a team that's confident in their ability to move the football. So you mentioned, you and James will be back after the game, hopefully reacting to a win. Hopefully they fix all their problems in the next 5 to 6 minutes, and the second half goes easy, and we have a nice easy win heading us into a long week before they play on Monday Night Football next week. But that'll do it for Eliot. That'll do it for me, Tucker. Like I said, Eliot and James will be back at the end of the game to react to everything that happened in the second half, and we will talk to